Broadcasting from somewhere in the Hollywood Hills.
You have arrived. We are Nick and Desiree's Infinite Dance Cast.
Dance Cast.
We are dance all day, every day. Nick.
All the time.
I like that. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at iDanceCast or at Nick Drago or at Desiree Robbins.
You can check us out on iTunes for absolutely free, or you can go to our website, infinitedancecast.com, or check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/infinitedancecast.
Right, and if you ever want to email the show to give us some music picks, you want to suggest a guest, make sure you email us, info@infinitedancecast.com.
And we're happy to hear. And
we are happy to hear. You could also tweet it. I mean, you could do either.
I'm going to do something we haven't done yet on the show.
Go.
Give a nice warm welcome to all our new listeners.
Oh.
Because we always have new listeners.
This is true.
So I know how it is, like, oh man, have I missed some? Don't worry, you haven't missed anything. You just got to listen every single week.
That's right.
You know
and if you can't listen every week, just download them to your smartphone, and then you'll have them.
And you can subscribe to us actually on iTunes, and it'll go straight to your smart device or your iTunes folder on your computer.
I know, I love that.
It's great.
It's so cool.
Yeah, always listen to us. I mean, you know, we're great for a short ride in traffic, especially in Los Angeles.
Amen. Or New York, or or just a long ride to the studio.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're happy to have you here, and we have a great guest today. He is the director of
he's a registered dietitian.
He's a registered dietitian, and he used to be a president for the American Dietetic Association.
Right.
Mr. Marty Yadrick.
Yes, I got
smart. Excited because actually his title's a lot longer than that.
Right.
But that's the condensed version.
Right.
And you know how I get nervous.
I think you did a good job.
But he's great because he's going to talk to us about diet foods and, of course, the burning question, are abs really made in the kitchen? So we're going to ask him those burning questions.
The burning hard questions, I know. This is a really great show, especially because we have the holidays coming up.
Right.
You know, you got Thanksgiving and Hanukkah and New Year's and Christmas and whatever you celebrate. But food around.
I know, and that's what Thanksgiving's all about. Actually, it's about being thankful for our country, right?
And the abundance of
And you know what's funny is that
food.
Michael Riccio, they had Canadian Thanksgiving not too long ago.
Really?
Like a couple of weeks ago, yeah. And I said, it's funny because I go, who'd you take your country from?
And what did he say?
He said, we didn't. We're just being thankful, you know.
Oh.
But we took ours.
Well, you know those Canadians, America,
they're
like
so
just copying.
Oh, that's...
I'm kidding.
Desiree, we have Canadian listeners.
I love the Canadians. In fact, I want to go to Canada. No, I do. I want to go there. It's beautiful.
No, it's gorgeous
and
there.
Man, they have some talent.
And like literally, my best friend's Canadian.
Yeah. At Riccio?
Yeah,
At Michael Riccio? Of course.
Oh, I just called him my best friend. I wonder if we just went to a new level in our relationship.
You might have. Oh,
Whatever.
dear.
That's
That is a commitment.
So,
no, it's very exciting.
Tell me about, I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm excited. Tell me about this video shoot you were talking about, professionalism. And these are for all our dancers out there.
You know, I was watching some video footage being edited of a shoot that a bunch of dancers did when they came to Los Angeles for a big workshop. Hollywood takes them to the lot at Paramount, and they shoot a music video.
Right.
So I'm watching when we were young, or when you were young, instilled, embed in your head was every take means something. Doesn't matter who's in the room. Doesn't matter if you're marking. You never mark. You always go full out because you never know. You never know. That was the word. You never know. You never know. And I just was watching this, and there'd be like 22 takes of one thing. And with every 21 out of the 22 takes, somebody was messing something up. Either the energy wasn't there, or the foot wasn't pointed all the way.
Or they thought the camera wasn't on them.
Or they thought the camera wasn't on. And I started to get really irritated just because I thought, well, that's a lesson that maybe I'm not really getting out to these dancers these days, especially the ones that want to move to LA. And I was talking to the editor, and we were going a little bit crazy because it was hard to find the right shots.
Right.
Especially if they don't realize it's right on your face. That's why professionals, it's so different.
It comes down to this. Do you want to be the reason that they can't use that take? The answer is no. So always
because you won't work.
Because you won't work. And let me tell you, I just did, so the Muppets movie that I did is coming out.
Yes,
next on
week?
Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Oh, that's so exciting.
And but we had like 100 dancers on set. Well, just because the camera's on top of a building doesn't mean it can't see you.
That's the thing.
You are not, whoa, you're hitting stuff now.
I know, I'm telling you, I'm passionate about this.
Just because you're like, I feel like an ant down there, it doesn't mean that they can't see you. You're not behind that camera. You don't know if they're zooming in. You don't know if it's a wide shot or a tight shot on the actor.
Right.
So that's what, I mean, you somewhat live in fear on set, but you got to get the job done.
You got to be on your game the whole time. And it's amazing because you're right. They don't think that they're being seen. But think about the people in the editing bay. They watch that same 3-second clip, 5-second clip, 7-second clip over 1,000 times.
Right. See, people make fun of me because I rehearse all the time.
No, but it matters so much. And when you're watching it so many times and you're trying to get it right on the music and make everybody look great, it makes it very hard if you do not come with your A game.
I'll tell you who's a great professional when it comes to this. Mr. Jerry Evans, legendary performer.
Oh gosh.
He was when we were doing the Muppets, he was always practicing. Always. And I'm like, dude, you're Jerry Evans, you're money. And he's like, no, I have to.
But that's why he is good.
Yeah, he's like, this is my job.
And so many of these dancers today just do not understand that. And I think that you all need to listen. It's very important because you will not get hired.
Personally, I don't want you to listen because I need the job, and if you mess it up, then I can have your job.
Oh man, I was on fire. I really was. I'm gonna take that video and I'm gonna do frame by frame with the kids that were in it and show them this is why and this is why.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, while you're stewing on that, can we have your music picks for the week?
Yes, you can.
All right.
Or would you rather have me talk? Oh, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, so my first one, it's a new song, and you know I love this artist, David Guetta, Guetta, but it's Without You is the title. It's featuring Usher. So it's really a nice song. So it's David Guetta and Usher. The song is titled Without You. And my second pick is I'm Into You. Are you?
Oh, yeah.
I'm into you. I'm into you. You're going to want to look for the Dave Aude Club Mix. Aude is A-U-D-E. And the artist on that is Jennifer Lopez. And I'm kind of confused. When does she use J-Lo and when does she use Jennifer Lopez?
She uses Jennifer Lopez when she's driving a Fiat.
Got it.
Everywhere else, she's J-Lo.
Okay, because I thought in music she was J-Lo. But whatever.
I thought she was Jenny from the Block, but whatever.
I think she is.
I can't keep up with all this.
And my third and final pick is Mr. Saxo Beat. I like the extended version, and the artist on that is Alexandra Stan, S-T-A-N. It's a great album, actually. The entire album is entitled Ultra Weekend 7.
Oh.
As if there's so many.
Well, yeah.
But Ultra Weekend, I mean, what else can you ask for?
I'm surprised she came back after the 6th Ultra Weekend.
Hello, Mr. Saxo Beat.
Okay. That's a good segue for mine. Here we go. Number 1 for me. Oh, now see if you can figure out the theme.
Okay.
Number 1 for me, Rescue Blues by Ryan Adams. A phenomenal song. They'll charge you with a Rescue Blues. It's a great song. Number 2 for me, Save Me by Jem. I don't know if she still has any new albums out, but Save Me. It's a good song.
Jem, J-E-M, G-E-M.
J-E-M.
Got it.
Okay. UK artist. Number 3 for me, With a Little Help from My Friends by our good friend, Mr. Joe Cocker.
Love.
The theme song to the Wonder Years. So, what's the theme? Rescue Blues, Save Me, With a Little Help from My Friends.
You're desperate.
Yeah, absolutely. Desperation.
Is that right?
Yeah, more or less.
Or you needed some help from your friends?
I was going to say depression, but yeah, desperation's fine.
Okay, depression.
Yeah, so I'm going to theme these music picks from here on out, so you got to be on your toes.
Oh my gosh, that means I got to take my game up a notch.
Yeah, well, like Emerald says, when we come back, another notch.
You know, I'll get there.
We're happy to have you all here. We are going to be getting a phone call from a registered dietitian and past president of the American Dietetic Association, Mr. Marty Yadrick, to answer all of our dietary questions.
Yes, and make sure you go to eatright.org or their new site, kidseatright.org. And you can get lots of information as well as put in your zip code to find a registered dietitian right near you.
Nick and Desiree's Infinite Dance Cast. We'll be right back.
Flow 40 Dance Workshops is the nation's premier in-house dance experience. We come to you and offer dancers a personalized workshop in the comfort of their own studio. Build a customized schedule to best suit your student needs. Our faculty work in every facet of the entertainment industry. And now, for a limited time, Desiree Robbins is in the mix. Book her for your next workshop. We're available for booking year-round. Visit flow40dance.com or call 818-985-7005 for more information. Flow 40 Dance Workshops. Work hard, dance strong.
Hey, and welcome back. We are Nick and Desiree's Infinite Dance Cast.
Dance Cast.
We are dance all day, every day, all the time. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at iDanceCast or at Nick Drago or at Desiree Robbins.
Today we're talking about eating right. Go to eatright.org to find a registered dietitian. On the phone, we have our very own registered dietitian, the official registered dietitian of Infinite Dance Cast.
It's true.
He is the past president of the ADA, which is the American Dietetic Association. Please welcome to the show, Mr. Marty Yadrick. Hello, sir.
Hey guys, how are you?
We're really great. How are you?
That's fantastic.
Good. We really appreciate you joining us because I think this is a really great topic. A lot of people, especially in our field, they want to eat right. They want to know what they're putting in their bodies, and a lot of people just don't.
Yep, that's for sure.
So let me ask you this, Marty. Straight off the bat, where do dancers and or athletes that need to be body conscious, where do they go wrong? Is it the media? Is it their upbringing? Is it something wrong with how we look at food? What is the core problem in your eyes?
I think, especially with dancers, the problem is they are underfueled. They are afraid to eat too much, especially before dancing. They don't think about eating after dancing, and so they're not providing their body with the best combination of nutrients to perform the best.
I think I'm guilty.
Well, yeah, a lot of times what happens is, we're on the go and we have 5 minutes here and 5 minutes there, and we don't have time to sit down and eat a proper meal.
Yeah, that's true, and dance schedules can be really crazy, both evenings after school and weekends in the studio, and a lot of times dancers don't want to eat, or they don't think about eating when they should be thinking about eating. So really, like I said, underfueling is a big problem.
So what are the potential negative side effects, especially to a growing dancer, a young adolescent dancer, when they don't eat? What are the short-term and long-term effects?
Well, the short-term effects is you're gonna get tired a lot sooner. You're not going to be able to be your best when you're dancing. And long-term effects is you certainly, if someone's a teen or adolescent, they don't want to interfere with their growth. They want to be able to grow into the healthiest adult that they can be. And so making sure that they're properly fueled is really, really important. And one of the recommendations we usually give is that they should be eating something that has protein and carbohydrate in it about every 3 hours. And that can be something really simple like peanut butter on a graham cracker or a carton of yogurt.
Right.
Or an ounce of string cheese and whole grain crackers. Something simple like that that's not huge, not too filling.
So if they have questions, they can go to, tell us a little bit about the website, eatright.org. What do we do when we get to that website, and how do we utilize it to its fullest potential?
Yeah, eatright.org is the official website of the American Dietetic Association, which is the world's largest organization of food nutrition professionals, mainly all registered dietitians. On eatright.org, there is a page, or a place to go is just for the public. So for the consumer, for kids and their parents, just go to eatright.org, and the home page is where the public page is. So they can click on all sorts of places there to get different information related to nutrition, on sports nutrition. And then there is also, if they actually wanted to meet with a registered dietitian, there's a button there that's called Find a Registered Dietitian. They click there, it asks them to put in, it's usually their zip code, and then the type of nutrition-related issue that they're interested in getting help with, and then they'll get a list of anyone that's in their area, a registered dietitian that specializes in sports nutrition.
I think this is really important, especially for those families with dancers that spend 30 hours at the studio a week.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I think it's something we don't really think about, and we have it at our fingertips, and we need to utilize it.
Right. Well, because as dancers, I mean, we should know, quote unquote, that what to put in our bodies. But
right.
I mean, truth be told, I mean, I've done shows before where I've gone on a crash diet because I have to dance with my shirt off, and that I know that's not healthy, but I do it anyways. But is there, what? Let me to segue then, Marty. What is a healthy body image? I mean, there's so much in the media. What do we do to combat this feeling of I don't look good, and where do we go? Can we go to eatright.org? Do we find help there as well for that issue?
There is information there related to that because body imaging, it's so important, and things get so distorted in the media about what you have to look like to look good. I mean, everyone is a different body type. Some people have more muscle mass just naturally, just genetically, and others have larger bones. The important thing is that you stay fit and that you're exercising, which your students are all doing that. So what else do they need to do? They need to eat properly.
Right.
And a lot of people don't think about, they go longer than 2 hours without eating before they dance, or they don't think about having a recovery snack.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, makes sense. And Marty, you go all over the world. I know this. I live across the street from Mr. Marty Yadrick, so I know when he's in town. And now we always sometimes share rides to the airport. Actually,
Desiree doesn't like to do that because she can't eat her egg McMuffin on the way.
Although Marty would never judge.
We're not. The one thing is we're not the food police. The things that we've always said is that there are no good or bad foods. Now, some of our members disagree with that, but I mean, all foods can fit. It's just, what's the primary kind of thing you're eating? Is it stuff that's really high in fat, potato chips, French fries, or is it healthier things like, the things I mentioned, like yogurt and string cheese and fruits and things like that? So that's what really counts. You don't give up your favorite foods, but maybe have a smaller portion of it.
Right.
Wow, I really like
in moderation, too.
Just by saying that, you've made me want to go to your website, because it's always so much like, oh, don't eat pizza. Don't eat this, don't eat that. We can have fun.
Right.
We're in the studio, or we're not in the studio. We're on the phone with Mr. Marty Yadrick, registered dietitian and past president of the American Dietetic Association. Nick and Desiree's Infinite Dance Cast. We'll be right back.
As dance teachers, we spend countless hours editing music. Save time with professional audio engineers. Professional music edits for competition start as low as $49. Clean cuts at affordable rates. Give your dancers a leg up on the competition. Email them for a quote. Visit dezworld.com. That's DEZ world.com for more details.
Hey guys, this is Courtney Galliano from So You Think You Could Dance, and you're listening to Nick and Desiree's Infinite Dance Cast.
And welcome back. We are Nick and Desiree's Infinite Dance Cast.
Dance Cast?
We are dance all day, every day, all the time. And we are very excited to have Marty Yadrick on the phone to give us his take and his suggestions for eating right.
So, Marty, tell us about the new websites that you got going on, kidseatright.org, and tell us what we can find there, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, kidseatright.org was established in the last year by the American Dietetic Association as part of our concern about the obesity epidemic in the United States, especially among children, and we're working with the First Lady's Let's Move campaign and very supportive of that as well. So if you go to kidseatright.org, there are different pages or different places you can click depending on the age group, and there's a place just for teens. And there's articles on there for teens about eating out in a healthy way. There's one thing I'm looking at right now that says a lickety-split breakfast. Something else about food safety, about cookie dough. So there's all sorts of tips about eating healthy, about healthy recipes. recipes, way to cook right, way to shop smart. And there's also a section for grade schoolers, and for the moms that are listening, there's a section for preschoolers and toddlers and babies.
Perfect.
So
It sounds like it's all about education.
it sure is. Sure is.
Okay, speaking of education, let me ask you this, and this can segue what we were talking about on the commercial break. I want to know about body fat percentage and how that relates to young ladies, young males that are dancers in particular. What is the is it a caliper situation? Should we even care about body fat percentage? Give us your take.
Yeah, well, there's been a lot of emphasis on body composition as opposed to strictly just weighing people, because you can be a heavily muscled person, a larger bone person, and have a weight that makes you look like you're overweight based on the charts.
Okay.
That's just not right. So measuring body composition is a way to gauge that someone really has more muscle mass and less fat. But there's also been a lot of, I think, overemphasis on that as well. So I think, one of the things that we're looking at now more that you're hearing more about is more waist circumference. So this has to do, I guess, more with adults, but we're not harping as much about getting the person's body fat measured as much as we used to. And there are a lot of different ways that this can be done. If that's ever going to be done, you just need to make sure that the person doing it is skilled. If they're measuring with calipers, it needs to be someone that does this all the time.
Okay. Now, I know you've also done some research, especially about young women, and you have some pointers for them. So can you share that with us?
Yeah, well, it's really important.
Especially with the underfueling, I guess, is what I left out.
Okay. Well, it's really important for young women to be active and have a healthy diet so they don't become overweight or excessively overweight in an early age, because there's a lot of problems that can go along with that, and I don't need to go into that long laundry list about that. But staying active is the most important thing of all, just to help with a positive body image. That starts you on the right road of what we call energy balance, where calories in and calories out are really pretty well balanced. Mm-hmm. So they're burning calories, and that all helps with a positive body image. And knowing the right things to eat on top of that is really what makes a difference.
Okay, so I have a question about specifically eating right. I've heard recently about certain blood types should stay away, avoid, and also gravitate towards certain foods. How much truth is in that?
Not any. There's a lot of stuff out in the media that comes through that seems to be the latest fad. Either it's certain combinations of things to eat at a certain time, or it's a certain miracle food that is really popular right at the moment. And the bottom line is, look and see how often are you eating something healthy like fruits and vegetables, and are you eating every 3 hours, like I mentioned, when you're getting ready through your day when you're going to be dancing? Are you thinking about eating something a couple hours before dancing? Are you choosing the right things, still allowing yourself your favorite foods in moderation, but are you thinking about things that are healthier to eat? I mean, that really is the long-term way to stay healthy and have plenty of energy for exercise like dancing.
Right. Well, it's true. And it just takes a little bit of preparation. Yeah. I think a lot of people act like they don't have the time, but can't you, at the beginning of the week, get, those crackers and the cheeses and put them in, you can divide it out.
Put them in little baggies.
And bring it,
Yeah, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. In fact, there's a program that was test marketed in schools in Kansas City, and it's spread to other areas of the country where registered dietitians are going into the inner city schools and working with kids about what are healthy foods to eat. They get little rewards when they've are eating fruit and things like that. And the biggest thing out of that, and they're also working with them as they exercise and teaching them about exercise. The biggest thing out of that is that these kids are going home and teaching their parents, hey, Mom, look, this is what a serving of this food should be.
Oh, right.
You can have
great.
this amount because it's modest amount of this favorite food that I have that might be a little bit higher in fat. So it's great that the kids are learning about proper portion size.
Isn't it interesting, too? A lot of people think that, I mean, you can't even buy a small Coke anymore.
Oh, because the small is
you start right at the medium and then go up to the, I mean, it's crazy. And it's when you look at what a true serving of something, usually they say, isn't it about your fist?
Yeah, especially when we're talking about a meat entree-size serving. It's the size of the palm of your hand or a deck of cards. And you know in the United States how restaurant portions have gone just
haywire.
And the best way to deal with that is to just share it among your family, or be ready to take a doggy back home and split it up over 2 or 3 days.
Right.
Okay, I want
true.
to ask you about another problem. Drinking enough water while you're exercising.
Because so many kids get so dehydrated.
Yeah, that's something that people don't think about. And one of the things that science tells us is that if we wait until we're thirsty to drink fluid, then we've probably waited too long.
Wow.
Okay, so what do you... Okay, because this is what I hear a lot. I don't like to drink a lot of water because it slushes around in my tummy while I'm exercising. Are they drinking too much water, or should they just stop complaining and drink the water?
Well, I think they need to drink the water. And one of the things that we always tell people, and sometimes it makes kids giggle, but if they look at the color of their urine when they go to the bathroom, it should be clear. It should be no darker than lemonade, okay? If it's darker, if it looks like apple juice, then they really are dehydrated and underhydrated.
Very good to know.
That's something they need to determine themselves, right? They don't need to go show their dance teacher, right?
That's entirely up to how much you guys want to intervene in this.
Absolutely not at all.
I think we can leave them responsible for that. Now, electrolytes, important, yes?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, sodium and potassium are the main electrolytes in your body, and if you eat a variety of foods, and especially if you eat fruits and vegetables, then you're going to be getting, usually getting sodium in this country is not a problem at all. The potassium sometimes is, but fruit is the very, very best source of potassium, as are a lot of vegetables, almost any vegetable. Even potatoes have potassium, too.
Right, and because, you have a lot of dancers that start cramping with these long days.
Yeah.
And I usually say, go eat a banana.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be just a banana. I mean, strawberries have a lot of potassium. Tomatoes have a lot of potassium. Oranges, grapefruit, and that fluid intake. And Nick was talking about that. I mean, sure, they don't have to drink a whole bottle of water all at once or something like that, but they should be sipping it every chance that they get.
Very smart.
And just so we know, sipping water does not show weakness. Right? Because we come from a lot of old school teachers that are like, don't drink water, you don't need, but some people abuse it, but you need water.
Oh, definitely you need water. I mean, that's probably the best fluid for dancers. I mean, sometimes if people want to have a sports beverage, there are some lower calorie sports beverages out there, like a G2 kind of thing, but it really, the important thing is getting the fluid in, so whatever they like to drink is probably the best choice. I mean, even a low-fat milk could be good, or even chocolate milk would be all right if that's going to get fluid in them.
Okay.
What they want to stay away from are regular sugared sodas. I wouldn't advise that except in moderation.
Marty, we are clean out of time. Thank you so much for being here. This is Marty Yadrick, a registered dietitian and a past president of the American Dietetic Association. Go to eatright.org and kidseatright.org if you're a kid. And Marty, we want to thank you. Or parents. And please, can we have you back on, Marty?
I'd love it. Thanks, you guys.
We greatly appreciate your time. We are Nick and Desiree's Infinite Dance Cast. We'll be right back.
Artist Simply Human, the workshop experience, a new dance convention featuring an out-of-this-world faculty that will be sure to inspire you, motivate you, and renew your passion for dance. Catch their upcoming tour heading to Kansas City, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Atlanta, New Jersey, Houston, Anaheim. Join them in the summer of 2012 for a one-of-a-kind event in the City of Lights, Las Vegas. For information and to register, visit ashdance.com or call 855-ASH-DANCE. Artist Simply Human, the workshop experience.
Easy to make and take with you on the go.
Welcome to Food to Go with Steph and Ro.
I'm Steph.
And I'm Ro.
And this week's healthy snack, we're just going to talk about beets.
Beets.
Oh, man, so good. Beets are really good. I like them a lot, and Ro is brand new to liking them.
I am brand new. Steph has loved them for a long time. I was very wary. I was afraid of them. They, they look scary on the outside when you buy them. They're
dirty and
roots.
tough.
They just look strange. I didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
But I mentioned it last week in the modified juicing episode.
Yeah.
And I am new. I've been adding them to all of my juice, and they are amazing. And here is why I've become a big fan of beets.
Okay.
Become a big fan because there's a magical property that in a beet latches when you eat it. It latches onto the toxins in your body, and then it pulls them out of your body, and then you get rid of them. You pee them out.
Oh, we're not supposed to talk about that. Okay. But anyway, wow, that is
But the
magical.
toxins in your body, toxins that you may have built up from exercise, so like lactic acid in your muscles, or maybe just from eating unhealthy foods.
Absolutely. Wow. Beets are so underplayed and underrated.
That's so true. And I was afraid of them because I didn't know what to do with them.
Right. But I make a beet hummus.
Steph has great beet ideas.
Totally. It's like the food processors, beets, and some lemon juice. You can just Google beet hummus. Oh, it's so good on Triscuits or on bread. Oh, and it's so pretty.
Yeah, it's so pretty. It's so colorful.
Pretty. You can even make beet cake, I heard. You can Google it.
Oh, amazing.
I know.
So if you buy beets, then you got the ugly outside and you have to cut the skin off.
Yep. And then they're so pretty.
So don't be afraid of that outside. Just cut it right off and then throw it in your juicer, throw it in your hummus, throw it on your salad, anywhere you want. But don't be afraid of it.
Don't be afraid. Google beets and check it out.
It is a fantastic root.
Totally. And while you're checking it out, check us out on
Facebook with Food to Go with Steph and Ro.
and Twitter, Food to Go Steph Row.
Beat it out.
Awesome. Yes. Visit infinitedancecast.com and click on the Food to Go menu
To check out this week's healthy snack. Join us here every week.
on Nick and Desiree's Infinite Dancecast.
Have a healthy week.
Easy to make and take with you on the go.
What's up? This is Kenny Wormald, and you're listening to Nick and Desiree's Infinite Dancecast, my favorite dancecast.
And welcome back. We are Nick and Desiree's Infinite Dancecast. We are danced all day, every day, all the time. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at iDancecast or at Nick Drago or at Desiree Robbins.
So I'm gearing up for Thanksgiving. I'm definitely going to remember some of these things.
In moderation.
But I have trouble with that. One year, my mother had to take a plate away from me and my best friend Mike Pappas because he looked
Another
like...
best friend.
I got a couple of them. They're all Italian. Well, he's Greek, but that's close enough.
It is. I'm married to one.
Exactly.
Well, my work husband, you,
Yes.
Italian. Mm-hmm.
And your husband.
My home husband is Greek. Anyway,
Yeah, so you know.
That was a tangent. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, so
anyway,
your mom had to take the plate away.
So we're eating, and we had this competition to eat so much food. And I'm sure Stephen Rose from Food to Go and Mr. Marty Yadrick are both just scoffing right now. But we were trying to eat more food than the other.
Oh, dear.
Well, my friend Mike Pappas, he started getting just white.
Oh, really? It got that bad?
Yeah, well, and I think
It's like man versus food, you guys. We're on like man versus food.
Yeah, we were like man versus food versus his environment.
Versus I'm going to win.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really what it is.
My mom got mad. She's never taken food away from me before.
I can't imagine Gail taking food away.
But, yeah, I know, right?
I can't at all.
My mother is the kind of person, you leave. She's like, bye-bye. She gives you a hug, and she's like putting a pork chop in your coat pocket to take home.
No, but what's true is your dad also, because he sent me home to my hotel room with some stuff.
When you were in Houston.
Yes.
Yeah. See, you can't say no. But you're like that too. Like you're like, yo, take the food. Because I mean, it's an important thing. It's a giving thing. You know?
Yes, it is. It's very nice. And your mom actually, when I was there, which goes kind of with the proper diet and eating right, she did the pasta with also the spaghetti squash.
Oh yeah, no, that's a great substitute.
Which I used last night, and I made Michael and I pasta. Excuse me, I made it with marinara sauce, but I roasted the spaghetti squash, which is amazing. And that's so easy and very inexpensive.
You roast it and then you turn around and you take a fork and scrape it. And it
turns
like
into noodles. It's awesome. And I remember making that in my 7th grade cooking class. That was one of the first things that we ever did. We steamed it. But it kind of brought back all those memories when I went to Houston and had dinner at your mom and dad's, and she served that, and I thought that's a good way to get those veggies in there.
Yeah.
you know.
And I feel like those are good calories, too.
They are good calories.
You know what I mean? And it's tasty. They're sweet. Spaghetti
It's
squash is
so
sweet.
good with a little olive oil and some salt and pepper.
Yeah.
I'm getting...
Oh, my gosh.
You know, fueling your body, and that is what Marty was really talking about today. And I think a lot of dancers, we do need to do that, because I do the same. I get myself to a starvation point,
Right.
and that is not good.
And like, me too, and I just want pizza.
No, pizza or a burger. First you say burger.
Yeah.
You always say, let's have a hamburger today.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
say, we had one yesterday and the day before.
I got a short memory.
Pizza in the night, usually.
I don't know what the problem is with that.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, it's great.
That's why we're not very good for each other.
No, well, but, I think what he's saying is right. You don't have to not eat your favorite foods, but you have to be smart about it.
Like, Nick, don't eat the whole pizza. That can be an issue for you.
Well, I've reinstated Super Splurge Sunday.
Okay.
So I'm eating good throughout the week.
Uh-huh.
And I have my cheat on Sunday.
Now, has it just become super splurge, or was it just splurge Sunday, but now you've had to supersize it?
Well, maybe a little bit.
you.
Maybe a little bit.
I think you supersized
But you know
it.
what's interesting too is that there are a lot of healthy alternatives at certain restaurants. Like I go to like Sharky's Mexican Grill
Yes,
a lot.
yes.
Well, you get the whole wheat tortilla. You can
Okay.
get the chicken. You don't have to
That's
get
right.
the beef and the white flour and the this and that and the other thing.
Right, and corn tortillas are probably better than flour anyway.
Yeah.
And most restaurants do serve gluten-free pastas too.
Yeah. So it's out there. You just have to be smart about it because
And most of the fast foods do have that light menu now as
Right.
well. Almost all of them.
and all of a sudden you're eating 500 calories as opposed to 1,600.
Right, because it's very alarming when you see the calorie count on, especially some of those Starbucks drinks. Oh my gosh, that's like food for 3 days. Anyway.
We want to send a special thank you to our producers, Michael, Billy Elliott, Benicos, Emily, Be Kind, Rewind Brown, and our brand new associate producer, Janae, drives a Mercedes, for producing our show.
Make sure you check us out on iTunes and download any of our past episodes. You don't want to miss one interview.
And most of all, we want to thank you, the listener. Because remember, without you, only our mothers would be listening. This is Nick and Desiree's Infinite Dance Cast. We'll see you next week.